Voice clone scam. Your phone rings, you answer, and you hear your mother crying. She says she needs help, right now. No time to explain, just send the money. And for a few seconds, nothing feels wrong, because it sounds exactly like her. That is what makes voice clone scams so dangerous. They do not need a perfect copy. They only need a familiar one. A child in trouble, a spouse in danger, a relative begging for help, a boss demanding immediate action. The details barely matter. The pressure does. This kind of scam is not trying to win with logic, it is trying to get there first. Because a familiar voice gets inside your reaction time, you do not stop to study the voice of someone you love. You respond to it, and AI makes that response easier to exploit. A short clip online can be enough, a live stream, a voice note, a social post, a podcast clip. Not enough to recreate a person perfectly, but enough to recreate a moment. And a believable moment is all the scam needs. Because perfection is not the goal, pressure is. The voice only has to feel real before panic takes over. And when fear gets there before reason, trust becomes a weapon. Deepfake video impersonation. If a fake voice can create panic, a fake face can create obedience. Because video still feels like proof. A text can be fake, an email can be fake, a phone number can be spoofed, but a face on a screen still feels harder to question. That is why deepfake impersonation is so dangerous. Now the scam does not just speak, it performs. A fake executive joins a meeting, a fake manager appears on a video call, a fake authority figure gives instructions calmly and confidently, and for a few seconds, it works. Not because the image is flawless, because the moment is. The lighting looks normal, the tone sounds controlled, the request sounds routine, and that is often enough. Because a deepfake does not need to survive close inspection. It only needs to survive the first impression, long enough to move money, long enough to get a password, long enough to shut down doubt. The scam is no longer just written, it is staged, and staged deception hits harder. Because once the victim can both see and hear the lie starts feeling heavier than the truth. It does not just copy identity, it simulates presence. And presence can make people obey before they ever stop to verify. AI phishing messages. Not every AI scam arrives with panic. Some arrive looking completely ordinary. An email from your bank, a login warning, a payment notice, a message from your employer, a document waiting for review. Nothing loud, nothing emotional, nothing that immediately feels dangerous. That is exactly why it works. Older phishing attacks often expose themselves. The grammar was bad, the tone felt strange, the message looked wrong. Now that weakness is disappearing. AI can write messages that feel smooth, natural, professional, boring in exactly the right way. And boring is dangerous. Because most people do not get trapped by messages that look insane. They get trapped by messages that look normal enough to click without remembering them later. That is what makes AI phishing so effective. It does not interrupt your day, it hides inside it. A password reset while you are busy, a payment request while you are distracted, a login page that looks familiar, a support message that sounds exactly like support. Nothing dramatic, just one small action at the wrong moment. That is the trap. The scam stops looking suspicious and starts looking routine. That may be the most dangerous shift of all. People know how to fear something that looks dangerous. They do not know how to fear something that looks normal. The old phishing attack wanted your attention. This one wants to pass beneath it, and sometimes the quietest scam does the most damage. Fake celebrity. Then there is the scam built for scale. Not one victim, not one family, not one employee, thousands. This is where fake celebrity endorsements, AI-generated interviews, polished investment ads, and fabricated authority become incredibly dangerous. A famous face appears in a video. A public figure seems to recommend a platform. A financial expert appears to promise easy returns. A polished ad makes the whole thing look legitimate. And that polish matters. Because cheap-looking scams often die quickly. Polished scams travel. The video looks expensive. The voice sounds confident. The branding feels professional. The website seems clean and believable. And that becomes part of the lie. Because people do not just judge the message, they judge how real the message looks. A familiar face, a calm voice, a clean interface, a trusted name. Put them together, and the scam starts borrowing credibility from everything around it. That is why this kind of fraud works so well. It does not create trust from nothing. It steals trust from symbols people already recognize. A celebrity, a company, a public figure, an expert. And AI makes that authority easier to mass produce. One fake endorsement can spread across thousands of feeds. One fabricated interview can reach huge audiences. One polished investment pitch can take real money from real people before anyone realizes it was never real. That is what makes this version so dangerous. It does not look criminal, it looks expensive, and expensive lies are easier to believe.